I'm really pleased to say that I'm joined today by Mel Leveridge. Mel is the Head of Screening, Profiling and Mechanistic Biology at GSK UK. Mel is also the Chair of the European Laboratory Research and Innovation Group, which is better known in the industry as ELRIG UK. ELRIG are a not-for-profit organisation that serves the life science and drug discovery communities. So welcome, Mel.
Hi Ash, great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it. So it's in her capacity as the chair of ELRIG that we're talking to Mel today. So ELRIG are well known in the for their series of conferences and events. So I wanted to start, Mel, by asking a little bit about your flagship drug discovery conference. So I'm wondering if you can tell me a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, sure. So as you say, Drug Discovery is ELRIG's flagship meeting. It's become the largest meeting of life sciences industry professionals in the UK. It's in its 14th year now, and I'm delighted to say it still draws world-class speakers from academia and industry to come and share their research, bring together delegates with technology providers to talk about cutting-edge science, cutting-edge technology, and how we can apply technology to drug discovery.
Okay, excellent, thank you. And so, I mean, it may come as a little surprise, obviously, for people watching that, obviously, unfortunately, the physical event, so Drug Discovery in its normal guise, has to be cancelled this year. So, yeah. Drug Discovery 2020 is now an online virtual event. Wondering if you can sort of explain what attendees can expect from this.
Yeah, sure. As you say, we find ourselves in unusual times, and so ELRIG, like many other organisations, had to adapt and evolve. But to be honest, attendees to the meeting can expect everything they would normally expect from the Drug Discovery Conference. So we've got our 8 tracks, over 50 world-class speakers, 2 keynotes. We decided to spread the tracks over 8 days, so 1 track a day, and that was really so that attendees could join from the comfort of their own home and not have to worry about conflicts and can work the conference around their daily schedules. In addition to the speaker programme, we've got everything else that you'd expect from an ELRIG event. So we've got over 50 posters, our early career professional events. And then, of course, at the very heart of the meeting is the vendor exhibition. So the vendor exhibition is also in a fully virtual environment. Delighted to have so many exhibitors and sponsors. I'm very grateful to them for their support. And the team have done a fantastic job pulling together the virtual environment. It feels like you're there walking around, exploring the booths. You can chat with the vendors online. You can book meetings and read content about the technologies on offer.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. That sounds really interesting. So what are some of the topics you're covering at this year's events?
Yeah, sure. So we've got some of the kind of core topics which we like to make sure are part of every ELRIG event. For example, better hits leading to better therapeutics, all about hit and lead identification, innovations in chemistry, and then also some new tracks, such as a track on multi-omics approaches to discover medicines, a track around new modalities. And then we've also got tracks from a couple of our partner organisations. So we have a strategic alliance with the British Pharmacological Society. So they delivered last week a track on GPCRs in drug discovery. And we also have a track hosted by Cancer Research UK on oncology drug discovery.
Okay, excellent. And I mean, the inevitable question, I guess. So has the emergence of SARS-CoV-2, has that impacted the choice of topics and tracks for this year's meeting at all?
Well, to be honest, we start planning the meeting a long way in advance, so over 12 months in advance. So in terms of the core tracks and content, it hasn't changed it hugely. But actually, a lot of the science that we were thinking about at the end of 2019 is still incredibly relevant, and even more so in the current climate. So, for example, we have a track on challenges of infection, and also the track that I mentioned on new modalities to treat disease. We've obviously seen a whole plethora of different treatment modalities for SARS-CoV-2 enter the clinic, from antibody therapies, vaccines, repurposed small molecules. We have seen a number of posters that have been submitted, which include science related to SARS-CoV-2. And I anticipate, obviously, as we go into 2021, we'll increasingly see COVID-19 related content and science in our meetings.
Excellent, thank you. And So have you noted sort of any key drug discovery trends or sort of hot topics in the first half of 2020? And again, it's sort of related to your question before. Have you managed to incorporate any of those into the meeting at all?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've mentioned a couple of them already. So the continued growth of diverse modalities to treat disease. So whilst small molecule drug discovery is still very core to what we do and still a substantial component of drug discovery pipelines, we're seeing an increasingly diverse range of modalities enter the clinic now. So we've got a track to talk about that. And then one of the other key trends is how, as a community, we're harnessing genomic data and really trying to understand the genetic basis of disease. And of course, building relevant cellular models and techniques like the omics techniques to try and kind of recapitulate those genetic signatures in vitro are becoming, well, continue to be, incredibly important. So we've got our track on patient relevant models and our multi-omics track, which explore those topics. And then, of course, I have to mention artificial intelligence and machine learning and data, because that is a continued trend and increasingly important for everything we do. We actually took the decision not to have a standalone track on AI and machine learning, but rather to embed talks with that content across all of our tracks, because it really is becoming an underpinning technology for us in drug discovery.
Yeah, no problem. So essentially, understanding there's a relevance to everything, not just it's not just a discipline on itself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And finally, I mean, obviously you've explained the meeting. It sounds really, really interesting. I mean, having been to the past 8 or 9 ELRIGs, I know sort of how good the meeting is.
Thank you.
So I'm wondering if you can just tell sort of the viewers how they'd be able to register and watch this event.
Yeah, well, please do register. That's the first thing to say. So you can register through the ELRIG website at elrig.org. As we're recording this, we've still got 4 days of the meeting to go. So, please do go along, register, get involved. In addition, you'll find on the website all the information about our meetings as we go into early 2021. We've taken the decision that at least the first 2 of our main meetings, so research and innovation and our CRISPR meeting, will also be delivered in a virtual environment. So do go along and explore those. And yeah, we hope to see you there, and some of the content will also be made available after the meeting, so you'll be able to continue to enjoy the science even when the meeting's finished.
Excellent. Well, again, Mel, thank you very much for your time, and wish you all the best with your virtual events.
Thank you very much.